Dijonai Carrington and Satou Sabally beef lives on.
Dijonai Carrington has another major situation in the WNBA game.
She was out there hacking again versus Phoenix. And not only was she out there hacking and doing all of that stuff, let's look at her trying to interrupt the Phoenix Mercury's huddle and start a fight with Satou Sabally and Mercury players. Let's look at this nonsense. You guys need to put a stop to this. Y'all need to put a stop to this.
Dijonai Carrington is ridiculous, bro.
Dijonai was terrible.
Dijonai Carrington, what are we doing?
Dijonai Carrington just sparked chaos again, this time charging Satou Sabally and crashing the Mercury's post-game huddle.
Look, she's right here, and she's just jawing off. I don't know what Dijonai is saying right here, but they're having a little standoff here. They're having to get between each other. I don't know exactly what was said, but they were trying to make sure that they didn't get close to each other, because I don't know, maybe some hands would have been thrown or something.
The video went viral in minutes, and now fans are calling for her suspension. With rising stars like Caitlin Clark trying to elevate the league, this kind of drama needs to stop. Comment 100% for Caitlin if you agree.
She's fourth in the league in MVP voting.
Caitlin Clark is a rising star in women's basketball. She's pulling in crazy viewership numbers.
Caitlin Clark is the needle mover.
She is the needle mover.
She is the franchise player.
And she was the MVP. She is the main draw.
She wasn't the one who was full sprinting down the court.
Caitlin Clark is an absolute all-star. She is the Michael Jordan of this. This is the girl that girls have been waiting for forever.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlin?
Yeah, she's so good at basketball.
Because she's that awesome person, and she has like a lot of aura, so like.
And let's break down what really happened. It all started the moment the final buzzer sounded. The Phoenix Mercury had just handed the Dallas Wings yet another humiliating loss, dropping them to a miserable 1-10 record.
You guys are 1-10. Why are you on the court after the games starting drama? Like, what are you doing? The WNBA needs to clean up this mess.
As the Mercury players gathered in their team huddle to celebrate, things took a sudden chaotic turn. Dijonai Carrington, already heated from the game, made her way straight toward the Mercury circle.
Paige is trying to grab Dijonai back. Maisha Hines-Allen's trying to stop Dijonai, and Dijonai's walking towards their team. And Hines-Allen's like, yeah, no.
Uninvited and clearly confrontational. Cameras caught her storming across the court, jawing at Satou Sabally with that signature smirk, the one she wears every time she's about to stir the pot. Security stood still.
How does WNBA security not usher them off of the floor? How are y'all allowing them to stay on the floor that long when you see it's becoming hostile?
Teammates scrambled. Paige Buchers, who had just dropped 35 points in what should have been the headline of the night, was forced to play peacemaker, literally trying to block cameras from catching the scene unfolding.
So right here, this Satou Sabally, right? So Satou Sabally is in Dallas. Now we all know she used to play for Dallas. So it wasn't a welcome back. Dijonai Carrington immediately put her hands up to the camera. Now this this scene right here is going viral everywhere. Dijonai Carrington putting her hand up to the camera, really telling the camera she don't want nothing to do with them, bro.
Alyssa Thomas and others stepped in to separate the players, but Carrington wouldn't back off. She had to be physically restrained while continuing to yell across the court, ignoring the fact that her team had just been embarrassed again.
Look, Dijonai, she's still trying to get over there and start talking to her. Look, she don't even want the camera in her face. Look, she pissed.
This wasn't an isolated outburst. For those watching the WNBA closely, Carrington has developed a reputation. Just weeks ago, she was seen karate chopping Skylar Diggins' head during a fast break and dragging another player to the ground by her hair. The league has received countless complaints from fans and insiders about her violent play style, yet little has been done. And now, after yet another unnecessary confrontation, Carrington crossed a new line, interrupting an opponent's team huddle in a blatant act of hostility, caught on national cameras.
Dijonai Carrington, I knew it. Satou Sabally words for each other after the game. Dijonai Carrington want the camera on her and Paige. Well, didn't want the camera on her and Paige. Dijonai Carrington loved taking contested Arabic layups, missing.
But this time, fans aren't letting it slide. Twitter, Reddit, and sports YouTube exploded. Calls for suspension, demands for accountability, memes mocking her stats and behavior, and above it all, frustration. Not just with Carrington, but with a league that's letting a player like her steal headlines from true talent. From leaders, from rookies like Caitlin Clark, who came here to play real basketball, not babysit teammates with no self-control. This incident wasn't just about a post-game huddle, it was personal. The tension between Dijonai Carrington and Satou Sabally didn't start in that moment. It's been brewing for years. From their heated one-on-one matchups in the unrivaled league, to trash talk that spilled over from the court onto social media, this isn't some random flare-up. It's a rivalry.
Satou and Dijonai spent the whole unrivaled. They spent the entire unrivaled 1v1 beating the crap out of each other.
A messy one. And this time, it reached a boiling point in front of the cameras. According to multiple angles and reports, Sabally may have instigated the final blow with a subtle, yet inflammatory gesture toward Carrington, allegedly mimicking a drinking motion.
The Satou was constantly telling Dijonai to keep drinking. Dijonai can try and knock players' heads off every other possession and put on risk for injury, but Satou tells him to keep drinking.
It was an indirect shot, but a deeply personal one. The implication? That Carrington hadn't come into the game focused, maybe even suggesting she partied the night before. And to make matters worse, this gesture hit a nerve, because it came on the heels of Carrington's recent emotional struggles after the death of her grandfather, a man she was close to. Fans are now speculating that the gesture may have been more than just trash talk. It may have crossed a line, but the situation gets even more layered. Carrington's live Instagram stream the night before the game was lighthearted and casual, featuring her girlfriend and teammate, Nelisa Smith. No alcohol was seen, and the live ended early.
She had kind of made like a drinking gesture towards the Dallas Wings bench, okay? And you can see Dijonai Carrington get up in frustration, like, I can't believe she said that.
Even teammates like Paige Buchers and Araki Ogunbowale commented things like, "Go to bed, we have a game," clearly reminding her to stay focused. But the damage was done. The next day, with emotions already high after yet another blowout loss, that single gesture from Sabally was enough to ignite Carrington into chaos. What was supposed to be a quick post-game cool-down spiraled into a full-blown viral moment. And make no mistake, Satou Sabally isn't innocent in all of this. She's developed her own reputation for instigating conflict without fully engaging. She's slick with the mouth, calculated, and known for making passive-aggressive comments and then walking away. We've seen it before, against Cardoso, against Copper, and now against Carrington. She knows when to strike with her words and how to keep just enough distance to avoid consequences. It's a mental game she plays well. But Carrington, she reacts, loudly, publicly, emotionally. And this time, it backfired hard. Cameras caught every step of her meltdown. From the moment she stood up and approached Sabally's huddle, to her teammates physically holding her back, to the look of shock and discomfort on Paige Bucher's face as she tried to shield Carrington from further humiliation. It was all there, unfolding like a bad reality TV episode, not a professional basketball game. And that's where this gets worse, because the real victim here isn't just the reputation of the WNBA, it's the young players like Paige and Caitlin Clark who are trying to bring a new era of excellence and maturity into the league. Caitlin Clark, who faces constant media pressure, gets targeted on the court and yet stays composed. Paige Buchers, who just dropped 35 points and showed the potential to be a franchise player.
Paige Buchers played very well. 37 minutes in her return game, 35 points, 6 rebounds, 13 for 19 from the field, 5 for 7 from the three-point line, 6 rebounds, 4 assists.
Had her entire performance drowned out by a teammate's meltdown. Instead of headlines praising her game, social media was flooded with clips of Carrington being held back, shouting and storming toward another team. It's exhausting for fans, for teammates, and for the league itself. And this isn't just about one incident anymore. This is about a culture that's being tolerated. Carrington has had repeated moments of questionable conduct, from aggressive fouls to disruptive sideline behavior, and the WNBA has been silent.
Dijonai Carrington behavior is starting to look a little spooky. WNBA is literally allowing her to bully, attack, say whatever, do whatever she wants to any damn players.
There's no question she's passionate, But when that passion repeatedly crosses into hostility, it's not competitive spirit. It's a liability. It makes fans question the league's priorities. Are we promoting basketball or drama? At a time when the WNBA is finally growing, thanks in part to players like Caitlin Clark bringing millions of new eyes to the sport, the league can't afford to keep letting this slide. Carrington's outburst didn't just derail her team's focus. It sent a message that antics still grab more attention than athleticism. And that's the exact opposite of the direction stars like Clark, Buchers, and Boston are trying to lead this league in. The question now isn't whether Carrington should be punished. It's how many more incidents it's going to take before the WNBA realizes that letting these repeated disruptions go unchecked isn't just unfair, it's self-sabotage.
All right, WNBA, when is enough enough? When is enough enough? Y'all have continued to allow Dijonai Carrington to run around like a menace. Yes, I said it. You guys have allowed Dijonai Carrington to continue to run around like a menace.
At this point, the situation with Dijonai Carrington isn't just an isolated case of poor sportsmanship.
Who hurt you, Dijonai? Ever since the season tipped off, you have been a one-person wrecking ball, wrecking havoc on the floor.
It's become a test for the WNBA itself. A test of integrity, of accountability, and of whether the league is truly ready to evolve into a professional powerhouse that can stand alongside the NBA, not just in talent, but in standards. Because this isn't just a heated moment anymore. Carrington has built a pattern, one that fans, players, and analysts are all noticing, and it's threatening to undermine everything the league is working to build. Let's break it down clearly. Carrington has developed a reputation that goes far beyond being a scrappy defender or passionate competitor.
Paige Becker's still playing defense. Satou Sabally is not paying her no mind, right? Why would somebody who can actually play ball give so much attention to somebody who can't really play ball? Yeah, Dijonai, don't look at me. Don't look at me, cameras. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Oh, yeah, Dijonai, she just loves the spotlight. She just loves the spotlight. There's Paige following her around because she knows, oh, this lady's unhinged.
In just a matter of weeks, she's been involved in multiple on-court incidents. Karate chopping Skylar Diggins during a fast break, dragging Sarah Ashley Barker to the ground by her hair, jawing at officials, and now charging into an opponent's huddle after a loss. That's not competitive edge. That's recklessness. And when a player becomes known more for drama than for stats or skills, it says something serious is off. Fans are watching this closely, and not just diehard WNBA followers. With the rise of Caitlin Clark, Paige Buchers, Angel Reese, and others, the league has gained an entirely new wave of mainstream attention.
Paige Becker's and Dijonai Carrington are like this. They are so tight. Paige Becker's was actually shielding the cameras away from Dijonai Carrington. Okay, now Alyssa Thomas was trying to console her because, again, that's her baby. Alyssa Thomas, low-key, is Dijonai Carrington's mama. They were together along with DeWanna Bonner, Brianna Jones, Ty Harris, Veronica Burton, and the likes of them, and up there in Connecticut for like 4 years straight, 4 seasons straight. So they still have that very close bond.
Every game is now a potential headline. Every viral moment is a representation of what women's basketball looks like at the highest level. So when a player like Carrington continuously steals the spotlight for all the wrong reasons, it doesn't just affect her, it affects the league's entire image. And here's where it becomes a crisis. Carrington isn't just acting out, she's doing it without consequence. That's what's triggering outrage from fans and commentators alike. In nearly every incident, including the most recent fight with Satou Sabally, the league has either delayed its response or simply done nothing. No meaningful suspension, no fines that send a real message. And as a result, she continues to dominate headlines with behavior that reflects poorly on the sport. It creates the perception that the WNBA is soft on discipline, that as long as a player generates clicks or attention, behavior doesn't matter. But for players like Caitlin Clark, this sends the worst possible message. Clark has dealt with constant targeting since she entered the league. Intentional hard fouls, disrespect, jealousy, and relentless media scrutiny. And yet she remains composed. She takes the hits, leads by example, and plays through the noise. That's what professionalism looks like. That's what leadership looks like. And it's exactly the kind of behavior the WNBA should be highlighting.
Mercury ended up pulling it out. They're 7-4 right now, still looking like a deadly team. And the Wings dropped to 1-10.
Instead, we have players like Carrington turning every game into a spectacle, undermining the credibility of their team, overshadowing their own teammates like Paige Buchers, and dragging the WNBA into a pit of petty drama that belongs in high school, not a pro league.
The Dallas Wings put the worst person possible around a rookie when it comes to the WNBA. The worst possible role model you can have is dirtbag Dijonai Carrington. Dijonai Carrington following Satou Sabally into her huddle, jawing at Satou Sabally. There's Paige Buchers, as you can see, number 5, playing defense like, oh, I didn't know that I was gonna get into this whole entire mess.
This has ripple effects far beyond the Dallas Wings. The entire league is watching, coaches are watching, sponsors are watching, networks that are finally starting to take the WNBA seriously are watching, and fans, especially the millions who started tuning in because of Caitlin Clark, are asking themselves if this is really the future of women's basketball. And let's not ignore the locker room consequences either. How do you build chemistry on a team where one player consistently makes headlines for disrupting games, sparking fights, and bringing unnecessary baggage? How can young stars like Buchers grow when they're constantly having to cover for teammates who can't stay in control? Paige Buchers had to physically shield Carrington from cameras. That's not leadership. That's damage control. Even the coaching staff looks exhausted. Reports say Coach Kurt Miller tried to calm Carrington down, but she kept going. Even in the face of public embarrassment, she couldn't stop herself. And while that might speak to deeper emotional issues or immaturity, it still begs the same question. How long will the WNBA tolerate this? Because make no mistake, Carrington's antics have become a distraction, a major one. They've derailed press conferences, taken over game recaps, and completely overshadowed standout performances by players who actually deliver on the court. And fans are sick of it. They're not just criticizing Carrington. They're calling out the WNBA's leadership, especially Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, for letting this behavior slide.
Let's look at her trying to interrupt the Phoenix Mercury's huddle and start a fight with Satou Sabally and Mercury players. Let's look at this nonsense. You guys need to put a stop to this. Y'all need to put a stop to this.
There's also a clear double standard forming. If Caitlin Clark or Paige Buchers had approached an opponent's huddle and needed to be physically restrained, it would have been a national scandal. But Carrington does it, and people shrug it off as passion. That inconsistency in treatment doesn't just hurt the players, it kills the league's credibility. The WNBA needs to make a choice, and it needs to make it now. Either it sets clear boundaries for player conduct, regardless of personality, popularity, or controversy, or it sends the message that bad behavior is good for business. And if that happens, the league risks alienating the very fans and stars that are helping it grow. Caitlin Clark, for example, represents everything this league should be about: elite skill, leadership, professionalism, and composure. She came into the league carrying the hopes of millions, and instead of being protected and supported, she's been repeatedly disrespected, fouled, and targeted. Now with this Carrington-Sabally drama spiraling out of control, we're seeing just how low the bar has been set for accountability. Enough is enough. The WNBA has a chance to reset the tone. Suspend Carrington, fine her. Make it clear that this league values sportsmanship, not spectacle. Because the longer they wait, the more players like Caitlin Clark, Paige Buchers, and others will suffer. Not just from bad teammates, but from a league that refuses to protect its future.
Dijonai Carrington and Satou Sabally beef lives on.
Dijonai Carrington has another major situation in the WNBA game. Dijonai Carrington is ridiculous, bro.
Dijonai was terrible.
The WNBA is standing at a crossroads, and how it handles Dijonai Carrington's latest outburst will define which direction it takes. This isn't just about one player losing control. It's about protecting the integrity of the game, respecting the athletes who are here to elevate it, and sending a message that professionalism still matters. Fans are watching. Young stars like Caitlin Clark and Paige Buchers are watching, and the world is watching. If the league wants to grow, it needs to clean up the chaos. Suspension isn't just warranted, it's necessary. Let us know in the comments if you stand with Caitlin Clark 100%.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball. Period.
That's nice.
And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right, so she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
She's the face of the league. Agreed.
Just have nothing but great things to say about who she is as a person. Just so welcoming and so warm as an individual that she can have a conversation with anybody. She's cut from the same cloth as me in that regard. You know what? Us Midwesterners, we tend to just, accept everybody with open arms. She was so kind to my family and everyone in the suite when she came to KC. So huge fans of Caitlin Clark.
It is a mad situation just all around when it comes to Caitlin Clark, because it's very clear that she is way stronger.
And if you're tired of the drama stealing the spotlight from the real game,